Hey guys, welcome back. How are you? I hope you are well. Today is my 6th round of Shop My Stash. I did a get ready with me earlier this week or last week using my round 5 items, and I talked about how I will be doing this on a monthly rotation for this year. I just think that's best considering all the products that I'm panning and the items that I'm bringing in to Shop My Stash. It's to try out new to me items or items I've had in my collection for a long time, see if I want to continue to maintain them in my collection or if I want to rotate them out and pass them on to someone who would use them. And so today's the 25th and I am posting this. Let's go over the items I had in my Shop My Stash basket for round 5. Now some of the items were holdovers from round 4, some of them were new, and we are just starting all over, and I will not be pulling a full face of products for Shop My Stash this year, only because I am panning so many different items that I want to give myself an opportunity to succeed at my project pan items, but also work on my collection. So my palette for this last round was my Lorac Pro 3 palette. I love this palette. In fact, it was one of my favorites of 2020, but I decided to work on the last 2 columns of each side because I neglect the far right and the far left of this palette, which is unfortunate because this look that I have today is using those 8 eyeshadows. Now, granted, I only have, I want to say, 4 of the shadows on there, but this is what I used, and I think this is a phenomenal eyeshadow look. So I don't know why I discount those last 4 rows, but I do. So all the items that were in my basket for this last round will be moving on except for 1 item. I used my Rimmel London Radiance Brick bronzer. This is a shimmery bronzer. This is a little pigmented. I struggled with this bronzer. It's gorgeous. It's just highly pigmented, and since it's an ombre, it can be a little bit dark. So I've really had to play with this, but have enjoyed it. Then I have my e.l.f. Primer Infused Shimmer Blush, and this is the shade Always Silly is what it looks like. I love e.l.f.'s blushes. They are extremely pigmented, so you have to be a little bit careful when applying them, but they just give a nice healthy flush to the skin. It is what I have on today. Buffed out, but it's such a pretty shade. My Make Me Bronze Cream Bronze and Highlighter was in here from round 4. I did continue to use this through round 5, and I like it. I don't like the delivery system, but I do like the product within this silly contraption. But it's time to pass it along. Well, move along. Back into my drawer. My NARS Smudge Proof Eyeshadow Base. I love this eye primer. I think it's one of the best that I have in my collection, especially for longevity. It definitely is the best I have. My Becca cream lipstick, and I have zero clue what the shade is. I'll put the name down here. This is bad. I was really bummed when I brought it into this round, and when I went to use it, it's vile, really vile. So I'm really disappointed in this because it's a beautiful nude. So the other lipstick I've had in this round, which is also a nude by Gerard Cosmetics, which is Rodeo Drive, it received a lot more use than it would have otherwise. It is what I have on, and I really like Rodeo Drive. I wore my Estee Lauder Futurist Hydra Wear foundation. Love this. It was my favorite foundation for 2020, and there's a reason. It's because it wears so beautifully and is so comfortable on the skin, so lightweight, hydrating, but my skin feels like it can breathe with this, which to me, that's always a win in my book. Pretty in Pink was a holdover metallic liquid eyeshadow by Ulta from round 4. I didn't even use it in round 5, so I don't know why I held it over. So this will be going back into the drawer. Enjoyed the heck out of using my Hard Candy Just Glow Rose Gold highlighter. It is an ombre highlighter as well, and I used them all together. I used them singularly, except for this one I didn't use on its own, but the other two I did. I just really find this to be a gorgeous highlighter. And then the item I will be holding over for next round is my mascara. I rolled this the Falsies Lash Lift Mascara by Maybelline. I rolled it in round 5 because my perversion had dried up. I really like this mascara. I am not having any problems with this transferring on me, which was one of my biggest problems in 2020. So as far as I'm concerned, this is a win for a mascara. Hopefully that will continue and I will not have that issue throughout round 6. But for right now, I'm really liking how my lashes look with this. Is it my Clinique High Impact? No, but I think it's pretty phenomenal. Okay, let's go over the items that I will be rolling in for round 6 of Shop My Stash. I picked it up off of Mercari, and it is the Hourglass Ambient Lighting Blush in Diffused Heat. I picked it up for a pretty decent price off of Mercari, and this shade is so much different than my Mood Exposure, which I'm used to, but I'm excited to try this out. I brought in my Marc Jacobs Instamark Go Hi-Fi filter. Is that what it's? Hi-Fi filter is what it is. It is a duo with, it looks like a powder and a bronzer. I have only used this a handful of times, if that many, and so I want to play with it. I'm bringing in my Milani Amour Shine. It is a liquid lip, and it is in the shade Crush Begun. It's one of the ones that I moved into my maybe pile when I went through my lip products that I needed to really take a hard look at to see if it really was bad or if maybe it's okay. So I have moved it into Shop My Stash. It is a gorgeous lip though. And then the other two are eyeshadow palettes. The first one is this Dose of Colors Marvelous Mauves palette. This was a gift from my friend Tracy for my birthday, and I haven't worn it yet, and I just want to play with it. And I thought it would go nicely with that lip and also help me with some of the eyeshadows that I'm panning. I'm hoping it will help bridge that gap between some of the areas in which I am lacking. And the other palette I gave in at the end of the year and purchased this after posting on Influencer if people thought that the price tag was worth it for this palette, and it was a resounding yes. I want to say it was like 73 to 28, something like that. And that is for my Lorac Pro Palette in Noir. This is their newest Pro Palette release, if I remember correctly. Well, my lights just went poof, so hopefully I have them back up. So this is what the Lorac Noir palette looks like. I mean, lots of yummy cool tones in there that I just really think are gorgeous. I have swatched some of the shades, but for the most part, I haven't done anything with this. So I want to play with this since I had picked it up thanks to everybody's feedback on Influencer and really my very deep want for the Noir palette. Isn't that gorgeous? So that is it for my Shop My Stash for round 6. Keep your eyes open. I will be doing at least one get ready with me using my Shop My Stash items, but because I'm doing it over a month and I'm hoping that me extending it out will work better for me, I just won't know until I try. So that's it, guys. Please take good care, be safe, be smart, and I will see you on the next one. Bye.